There comes a moment in life when you realize no one is coming to save you. No one is watching every step you take, waiting to clap when you move forward. Nobody truly feels your pain the way you do, and nobody will walk your path for you. This realization can either break you or awaken you. When you stop expecting the world to care, you begin to rise. That's the moment you reclaim your power, because your journey, your discipline, your growth must be done for you. We grow up in a world that constantly teaches us to seek approval. From the moment we take our first steps, someone is there to clap, to cheer, to tell us we are doing well. But slowly, as we grow older, the claps fade and the cheers go silent. Suddenly, you start to wonder, am I still doing well if no one says so? That's the trap. You begin to measure your progress by the attention it gets and not by the transformation it creates within you. You begin to live for the eyes watching you instead of for the soul that is guiding you. And when those eyes turn away, you feel lost, as if your existence has no weight without an audience. But the truth is much simpler, much sharper. Nobody is watching as closely as you think they are. Nobody cares as deeply as you hope they do. And that realization, if you can accept it, will set you free. When you live for validation, you build your house on shifting sand. Every compliment becomes a wall. Every criticism becomes a crack. And before you know it, your entire sense of self depends on how others feel that day. When they love you, you feel powerful. When they ignore you, you feel invisible. But true strength begins when you realize that the world's opinion is not your foundation. Your actions are. You cannot expect others to constantly feed your motivation, because they are fighting their own unseen battles. The people you think are watching you closely are too busy trying to make sense of their own chaos. Everyone is focused on their own survival, their own pain, their own search for peace. And that means one thing. If you are waiting for someone else to push you forward, you might wait your entire life. When you finally stop waiting, something changes. You begin to move differently. You stop posting every victory for applause. You stop explaining every failure for understanding. You begin to act, not to impress, but to express. That's when growth becomes real. When you no longer need the world to see your effort becomes pure. It becomes yours, not a performance, not a plea, but a silent, steady act of commitment. You wake up not because someone will notice, but because you've promised yourself you won't quit. That's how transformation begins, quietly, away from eyes, away from noise. The illusion of validation is powerful. It makes you chase approval like air, believing you cannot breathe without it. You start shaping your identity based on what others like, what they expect, what they praise. You forget that the truest form of peace comes from authenticity, from being what you are, not what others want you to be. Approval is temporary. It comes and goes with moods and moments. One day they'll cheer for you, and the next they'll forget your name. But when you work for yourself, when your purpose is rooted in something deeper than applause, you never lose direction. Think about it. How many dreams have died because someone laughed at them? How many talents have faded because nobody noticed them soon enough? The truth is, the world is full of unseen greatness, hidden potential that never got external validation. But the real masters, the real warriors, the real creators, They didn't need anyone to tell them they were good enough. They simply decided. They decided to believe in themselves before anyone else did. That's what separates those who succeed from those who stop. Not talent, not opportunity, but independence from approval. When you no longer seek validation, you become dangerous in the most beautiful way. Because now you cannot be controlled by praise, and you cannot be destroyed by criticism. You stop living in reaction to the world and start living in alignment with yourself. You stop asking, do they like me? And start asking, do I respect the person I am becoming? You begin to hold yourself accountable, not to standards created by others, but to the vision you carry inside. The moment you stop being hungry for validation, you start being hungry for growth. And that hunger creates real movement, slow, silent, steady movement toward mastery. When you act for validation, your actions lose sincerity. But when you act for yourself, even the smallest step holds meaning. It's like watering a plant. The world doesn't see the roots growing beneath the soil, but that's where the real strength is formed. You might not get applause for showing up, for staying disciplined, for saying no to distractions. But every time you do, you're building invisible roots, roots of integrity, of consistency, of purpose. And one day, those roots will grow into something unshakable. You will stand firm not because the world told you you're strong, but because you proved it to yourself through persistence. There's freedom in realizing that nobody cares. It sounds harsh, but it's liberating. Because now you don't have to live up to anyone's expectations. You don't have to meet a standard that changes with every opinion. You can stop pretending. You can stop performing. You can start becoming. The weight that once held you down, the fear of judgment, the need to be seen, it falls away. And in that emptiness, you find something precious peace. So, when you feel unseen, don't despair. It means you've entered the sacred space of self-reliance. When you feel unnoticed, don't stop. It means you're building something that doesn't need to be shown. Something that will last. The applause will come, maybe later, maybe never, but by then, you won't need it. You'll already know who you are. Do it for you. Remember this, nobody cares, and that's your greatest freedom. Because when no one cares, you are free to rise, fall, learn, and rise again. Without judgment, you are free to rewrite your story, to sculpt your life with your own hands. So stop waiting for someone to notice, stop hoping for permission, and stop fearing the silence. Do it for you, because in the end, your journey belongs to no one else but you.